And welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to our faraway friends, connoisseurs of fantasy and curiosity seekers. As always, we are delighted to have you with us. Lots to run through in the preamble today. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you enjoy the show. So, first, he says, as he can't find the notes in front of his face. Okay, here we go. A reminder to everyone, and we are working on getting this in the intro, so you don't have to hear me yammer about it every time. But this is a dark fantasy story, so that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to go for gore factor or shock value or anything like that. But there are adult situations that come up, not just, all varieties. So this is for... not necessarily for younger viewers. Use your discretion on that if you have a little one. So second thing would be if you are in Austin, Texas, if you happen to have the joy of being in Austin, Texas, actually joy now that's not 105, 112 degrees heat indexed every day. I and at least some of the Darkeport cast are going to be running a table periodically, perhaps regularly, over at Dragon's Lair, which is like a well-known, iconic fantasy bookstore, now gaming shop. It's huge. It's really grown over the decades. So if you're interested in that, either if you're watching this live and you're in the chat, let the Toby know, and other than that, also helps if you leave a comment, because then I can go back afterward. Obviously, I'm not monitoring the chat right now, so I can go back afterward, look at the comments, and kind of get that going. I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to get the word out, and at those tables, I'm planning on exploring parts of the game setting that go beyond Juramentum or deep dives into Juramentum, but probably Leptis Regium, especially the metropolis, the massively powerful city that they're pitted against in this story, really to flesh them out, and so it's a huge help to me as a GM and as a storyteller to get to know who the enemy is, because of course nobody thinks that they're the enemy, nobody thinks they're the antagonist in another person's story unless you're a very peculiar person, but almost everybody thinks they're the heroes of their own tale. And so do the folks in Leptis Regium. So, yeah, let me know about that. Let us know about that. In that vein, we have a interim solution for some sort of lore repository, so we can get that going as well. Because YouTube comments are great and descriptions are wonderful, but there really isn't anything that's going to replace a stable, large, integrated source. So for, like I said, this is going to be an interim. Eventually we're going to have a permanent solution that we craft ourselves. If you're interested in that, let chat know. I know that there had already been some folks a while back who had just volunteered for that. I appreciate that hugely. If you're still interested in contributing to whatever level, I would love to hear about it. Also comments too afterwards, same as with the running a table. Eldritch Foundry is still with us. Yay! Still sponsoring us, still taking care of your figurine needs, and you may or may not see some of those very figurines tonight. And so go check it out. Do we have the commercial this go round?
We don't.
The spot for them? Okay, so we're hoping. I think very soon we'll have a spot that kind of gives more detail, and you can see some of the fruits of their system for yourself, and that's probably the best way of seeing that. And I think there's always going to be something else I'm missing, but it's okay. That's okay. We'll just go in, even if I take notes. Doesn't matter. I just always want to get into the story. And with that, so to be clear, we are picking up. We actually have a little bit of breathing space. The first half of this episode is going to be on awakening, and the second half will actually have taken place shortly before. So to put this in context for the players, it has been 4 days since you finished with Oekapan, and you've been sitting with that. Nilishli now has Winter's Harvest firmly in hand.
Yeah.
People are looking askance on the streets, the ones who care. Of course, the kids just see it as one more fascinating thing to mess with and that sort of thing. And I'll have some more questions for you about that, Allie, about how you interface with the weapon, and both physically and internally. And there has just been a huge storm that hit Juramentum, the first of the springtime storms.
Ooh.
That was yesterday. And I think that's probably good for that. Oh, yes, Candle.
Candle of Tales.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Absolutely. Candle of Tales. Let's do it.
Candle
of Tales.
light. You're doing great.
There you go.
Thanks. Good job.
And we have a journal entry from Catryns.
You know it. I've been waiting and searching my whole life to find out where I belong and how I fit into the intricacies of this world. I was born in the river, and now finally I know who I am. I found my meaning of who I want to be, and I've avoided it for so long, but I can't unsee the woman I saw at Crystal Remembrance. The strongest observance held for the briefest of time. I feel all of their energies, but her force I feel the most. The School of Mysteries has been on my mind for some time now, since childhood. Oh, to teach anyone willing to learn beyond the knowledge and skill they have now. What a city we could be. What a city we are, but what we could be. Figulus knew where he was sending me. To the tree of Tipo, the mysterious tree. He wanted me to see my beginnings. The moment he enacted Zed, he created me and saved the Crimson Children. He knew the repercussions, but still did it. I know he knew exactly who I was when he met me in my childhood, sitting on that wood stump at 6 Winters, right outside the Scrivener's booth, trying to learn from those men that would shoo me away. I would have been in a grave if it were not for Figulus, either death by the hands of men or death by complacency. The ley lines that run through the city, we can't be the only ones that know about it. Tipo knew it, and he's an ancient being from a time that no longer exists. I've seen the immaculate power that it holds, and Figulus has tapped into it. The cognoscentry will never stop coming for him, and now maybe for me. I owe my life to Weisa. Her being there for me has shown me a love I cannot fathom, and her ability to love has given me the strength. Hopefully the gift I have for her is a small token of my love for her. Something is coming. That much is clear. It's time to get ready.
Whew, thank you. Thank you.
I got nervous.
No, you did great. You did great, Anika.
Did I get it?
Most of the people here at this table have game through Awakening, but our faraway friends have not seen it. Awakening, when the earth comes up from her deep slumber of the winter, when the bite of the wind and the retreat of the plants abates, you have, and I'm going to go ahead and determine where everyone is at pretty quickly here. But I'll start with you, Marcus, because you are in the most particular situation. So, rekindling for you was 4 days ago, and that is the springtime observance that you're familiar with. As a member of the Church of Light, even if you don't necessarily think of it as a church per se, just a way of life, you are. And you attended your first observance, your first it was your first encounter with the church as an organization. The temple was beautiful, steeped in masterfully cut stone and marble. It's one of only 2 structures in Juramentum that a different person might call opulent. Although even here, the temple of Quaelathon for the primes, because there are 3 different denominations, and the primes are the oldest, the best established, and as you found out, by far the best funded. Even though they still call it a shrine, really it's a temple now. So you were there. There were some looks. There were maybe even some whispers, but overall, you were accepted.
Nice.
There, and at a later date, perhaps we can go into some of the details of that day for you, how the family, how your family responded to that, and all of that. But I'm going to go ahead and put you in your time and place, and then I'm going to ask everyone where they're at, kind of get a sense on this really important day with pretty well established rituals and a pathway towards celebration. So you've been recalled. You've been recalled by the beacon there. So beacon would be the word for priest, for ordained priest in this world, for Church of Light. So you've been recalled by Beacon Flavius. He's an older, sallow-visaged man. There doesn't seem to be much physical strength to him, but he has an intense gaze. Kindly, more often than not. A bit of a presence, but certainly you wouldn't say a commanding one. In your lifetime, you've been in the presence of someone with a 20 charisma, so doesn't have anything approaching that. But what he does have is the dedication of hundreds of people in Juramentum behind him. So we'll play through that in detail, but that's where you're at right now. And there is we'll call it, your understanding of it would be that you're going there to answer questions. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start with the people that I know have the deepest and longest roots and the longest standing traditions. And all of the fellowship, importantly, because you have kept in very close touch through these formative days, I'll say, of integrating in all of Marcus's kith and kin into Juramentum. I guess let's start with you, Titus. Where do you want to be for this? Are you doing your normal awakening thing, or are you with Marcus?
I'm doing the normal awakening thing, but I would have been with him at the start. So I would probably be going to the field to go work, but I'd be with him just so he feels more comfortable.
Okay, so you're with him. You're with him at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Jerem.
With Jerem. Okay.
My boy.
Where's Jerem?
My
baby
at the shrine.
Yeah, his ward.
This is unusual for Merrick, but he's no longer drinking.
Whoa. Wow.
He is going to participate in the ritual aspects at the fire with the grannies and all that.
Once you get there,
But otherwise, he's going to be out in the field monitoring when he can. Outside of that, he's gonna have to split that up. He does not want him by himself.
Okay, so you're actually going with him to this effectively to this inquest.
Yeah.
In the morning. Okay. Now the Kithki start at dawn, and although it doesn't really kick off until high sun. So would you have gone to the gardens, to the gazebo, started there at dawn, and done some celebrating there or some observances there?
Yeah.
Before. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know. I know you mentioned Jasmine stuff, which would have been 4 days ago. I'm not sure how you want to resolve that at some point, but
no, good point. So you had Jasmine, and there was another outstanding scene.
There was
that I had you guys mark down. Oh boy.
Lady Vale seen that. Yeah, that was me walking away with Olivia, though. That's
That's plenty. That's plenty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and kick myself. So when one of y'all find, I know there was another player. Chad, if you know that, let us. Bad host, bad jam.
Oh boy.
See, there's always stuff I'm gonna be forgetting. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and resolve that first, because it won't take long, but I want you to know what happened. All right, so you had gotten back to your wife,
Jasmine, yeah.
to Jasmine, and you waited. Merrick actually had to wait for a while because she was still with her crew, if I recall correctly, repairing the crumbling in the north wall. But she comes back tired, kind of sweaty, a little dirty.
You okay, my love?
Always coming back home. It's a good. That's a good treat. Just let me wash my filthy body, and I'll tell you, it'll make you giggle, or at least crack a smile.
Of course.
And there's the little pitter patter of even littler feet running down the hallways of the Touch Gem compound. Eventually, Jasmine comes back. Has changed into a simple cotton shift and actually a skirt. Usually she wears trousers.
Much better.
Oh.
Well, wait till you hear what news it is. So, Prumla doesn't have a husband anymore. She has a wife, but not a husband. And so, even though she's a bit of a battle axe, I was thinking about maybe introducing. Well, you know her, but I mean, introducing the two of you.
What happened to him?
Natural. Well, I mean, not natural, but normal.
Oh, return to the mother. Yeah. If you know me better than most.
Better than anybody, I'd say. But, Merrick, that means you'd have to sleep somewhere that isn't in a locked room. At least some of the time. Because she has her kitling still, so she's not going to come over here.
Let's see how things go.
Really? Really? Okay, great. Yeah, we'll do it. I'll,
Just seeing how things go.
Okay. I told her that we'd definitely be at Awakening. I mean, of course. So,
I will be at Awakening, but I also need to make sure that Domine does not get himself injured this year. You know what I mean?
He does have a way of getting himself hurt during Awakening, doesn't he?
Yes, and with all of the things that are going on right now, some that you know, some maybe not, there's a lot going on with the South.
I've heard.
And with the church, potentially.
She puts a hand over your husband. There's a reason that we're making sure the walls are all in good repair. Which reminds me, I still haven't been able to... doesn't matter. Shop talk. Later. Okay. I'll pass the word along.
Thank you. Are you okay? I want to make sure she's... I mean, she said she was okay, but is she okay?
She says, I'm going to be okay in about half a torch. And she takes your hand and drags you into the bedroom with her.
Warning.
Fade to black.
So, Nilishli,
Speaking of black.
you know that these little, vibrant, loving, generous, boisterous people called the Kithki have this thing about the Awakening. Of course, you can feel the Mother of Winter's grip slackening, lessening. She never goes away entirely, nor does the Lord of the Dawnstar. But she's a little distant. So how do you feel about that?
I think she is feeling excited.
Okay.
This new thing she's about to experience, and she's interested in the custom and the ritual, and I think at this point she's hanging out. She's not around Figulus Nea. She kind of wants to hang out around, see what's going on around the center of town.
Sure.
She's definitely starting in the sparring pit, and I think she would be swinging her weapon around.
Okay, you get a pretty actually, Allie, maybe I should have done this off stream, but I think it is kind of funny to do this on stream. So your character still didn't have a feat, and so I selected tough for her. So she actually has 44 hit points.
What the hell?
And
Okay.
you're gonna get more hit points.
What?
You're gonna get 2 additional hit points on top of whatever you would get every time that you level from here on out.
Okay.
I'm not protecting any dogs.
Take it. Just take it. That's amazing.
Yes, a level 3 character, and I saw her roll for all of these in front of my face.
Boy.
That's one of the few things I make sure to always look at is hit points. Okay. So I assume that you're giving them the flat of the blade or the blunt end of the.
Yeah,
the
I'm
blunt end of
definitely
it.
like, we're not, like, I'm simmered, I'm in control, I'm giving them the very least that this weapon has to offer, but it's more to get comfortable.
I need.
Oh no.
As you're going through and you feel a little shiver. Harvey really loves that you're in the sparring pit, loves the feel of strife. You still haven't been able to determine if it or maybe he, you're not certain yet. It's definitely not she. If it knows that there is an outside world the same way that you know that there's an outside world. It just can feel that finally, after so dreadfully long of being locked away, protected by those inane temple guardians, it's finally out and about doing the Dread Mother's business. Make a wisdom check for me.
First one.
14 plus.
-2.
Oh. I guess you can't have that high hit points without something.
With something, right.
It's too good.
So, your newborn self, two toddler self now, experientially, you're there, and you have a particularly dowdy fellow who's looking at you, and remember this weapon gives you enormous reach, so he ducks under, tries to ram you. You see him coming. Go ahead and just make an attack roll. Let me see how you're doing in this particular sparring session.
Come on, Harvey.
+6.
What?
13.
13.
13? Okay. Okay. He's keeping pace with you for a while, and you start to feel your temper, or maybe it's Winter's Harvest temper. You start to feel that an urge, and with the blade.
Please don't kill my man.
And I can hear that this is coming from the blade.
Not all the time.
It's more like a feeling.
It's more like a feeling. When I'm
Okay.
whispering,
Yeah.
it's more like a feeling. I'll be louder if it ever actually
Okay.
articulates to you,
Okay.
like telepathically.
So I'm getting the sense that it kind of wants more, is what I'm getting.
You spar hard. You spar hard. I know your character does. But you're not lopping heads off or limbs. So, but with that roll, at this point in time, you're able to rein that in.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
I'm going to keep that reined in then.
You keep that reined
Yeah, I'll
in.
keep that reined tight.
Buttoned up.
Yep, button right up.
Nothing bad is ever going to come of that, Allie. You have my promise as a GM. So, when you get word that Marcus is going to this thing called an inquest in front of or inside of the largest shrine for this Church of Light, do you go there? Do you go there kind of mid-morning, or are you too involved in awakening?
I think that I would be interested in going because I've had some interactions with some no-name god that I kind of want to go explore a little bit more and see if there's any connection to anything I've heard in the past.
Are we actually going to have awakening happening in the background, or we're not even going to do it on camera?
I love that for you.
That would be. I mean, I love that, but I don't know if the audience is going to love that. But no. Actually, awakening's a lot of. It's been a lot of fun in the pre sessions. Okay, so obviously you're baking your buns off, ahead of awakening.
Can I hear more about the storm that happened the day before?
Absolutely. So, Juramentum's walls largely protected you, but there are some minor repairs that need to be done to the roof of the bakery. And Publia was just like, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's awakening. Nothing bad's going to happen on awakening, right?
Sure.
By the way, important, she has dispelled since the last session. She has negated the horrible envenomation that she put on your normal blade because she does not want you to accidentally murder yourself by pricking yourself or pricking somebody else.
Smart.
Okay.
Was it a rainy storm? Was it?
It was mostly, it was a heavy, it wasn't like a hurricane or a tropical storm. It was a hard downpour, sheets of rain coming down. And only once or twice were you seeing it kind of start to, it never got horizontal, but only once or twice did you have some bad gusts. But the architects of the city did an excellent job in placing the walls.
Okay.
To prevent the worst of it. Remember, you're just off of a great lake, so really it's its own Lake Celesticula is its own storm system, has its own storm system, its own ecosystem, all of that.
Okay. Well, I know that Weisa has been preparing for more ritual, especially on Awakening, and she saw that the rain coming down was Tlaloc showing up.
Yes.
So she collected some water yesterday.
Explain to our far right friends who Tlaloc is.
Tlaloc is from my home culture that me and Nilishli share, is a god of the rains, the waters, and yeah, Weisa really wants to have a ceremony acknowledging the three of the Uralit, which is Tlaloc, Tiscatli, and Quaddle, which is
the Lord of the Dawnstar.
Yep. Exactly, Lord. So she's collecting water, and she's
like the rainwater.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't thought of that. Beautiful.
Yeah. So I know that she's also busy. It's a day of much coin.
Mm-hmm.
And prosperity as a baker, but
Publia doesn't say anything about it. She knows you're doing stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, she wants to set up a little altar for herself with water, some of her own blood, and some flowers in honor of the three.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's like you know how to do this.
I won't tell.
I love it.
I won't tell. And she also has these 3 stones from her previous life in that culture. So she has turquoise and obsidian and jade, and she places them with these objects around. And she's just really calling in their support.
Do you want your altar in your alcove? Do you want to put it behind the bakery? Do you want to put it outside the walls? Where do you want to place it? Because you've had time to construct something.
Yeah, it's in her alcove.
Okay.
Something that she feels that she can really protect. She definitely doesn't want to be seen in it. Needs that privacy.
Okay. Make a religion check. With advantage.
Ooh, with advantage.
You really
Oh, thank God.
That was wild.
I continue.
even with an 11, I mean, this day is so potent, and there's so much intent. You can practically feel the Kithki and their stamping feet, dancing with their oversized caterpillars and butterflies on top of their heads, and running around in their almost Lunar New Year, dragons, but for them it's the butterflies and caterpillars. You, with the occasional Paija, probably. You can feel that you've altered the quality of the space that you're in, of the immediate space that you're in. And if you smell, there's even a whiff of a different part of the lake. A familiar scent. Maybe has a little bit more jasmine to it.
Beautiful.
You have a moment of wondering if you're ever going to see home again. You may not. You may not. Okay, so I'm going to say with that, instead of going out there at the crack of dawn, or as a certain crazy gunnery sergeant used to say, at the ass crack of dawn, that's the time before dawn, by the way. This running things in my brain. So you miss the first part of the ceremony, which most of the kids are sleeping through anyway. So it gets more raucous as the day goes on, and then you've been to the bonfires at night. The activities that go around there. So, some little bell goes off in your head that it's mid-morning. Marcus's inquest is happening now. Now you are free to go there, or you are free to pursue something else, because you feel like you've done everything you can by yourself in the alcove.
Yeah, well, I'd like to make some coin, so I would like to go and experience some of the festivities, bringing some pies with me.
Okay.
And happy to bump into whoever.
Okay. All right. We'll play some of that out then.
Okay.
Bumping into, huh?
Catryn.
Who is she?
What's up?
Catryns been kind of walking around the city, just contemplating. I think she's got a lot to think about. But I think early in the morning she did go see Livia, because of all the repairs and the storm. I think with that, just kind of gaining knowledge of the city and what the architecture looks like, all of that.
As you're hitting the little puddles in the mud. And
Oh, yeah.
the keep, the marketplace is a morass right now. It's pretty muddy, and people are running out to the beach and trying to find some sort of sand or boulders or anything that they can do to help the mud here without much success.
I will say she has wrapped up a
little something,
and she's carrying it on her back right now. But after Livia, she's gonna, I think, go to Weisa's cart.
Okay. Remind our friends who Livia is to you.
Oh, Livia, I'm her advisor.
And she is the twin sister to
Titus.
Titus, yes. The young lady of Juramentum.
Yes.
Okay. So that visit was that visit then, and I would say that would be an early one.
Very early.
She's up at dawn.
Yeah.
Every day.
Very
So
early.
that's just past dawn. You're ready to go in, and you actually help her operationally try to coordinate the repairs, the minor repairs that need to be done in the city. Okay, that
I think she wants to be a little bit more involved in that aspect.
Livia is more than happy for the help, because that's less. You have an even better memory than she does, which is saying something. Her memory is excellent, but yours is extraordinary. It's really weird. Although a thought pops in your head, and you wonder if your ability to remember with perfect clarity doesn't have something to do with the circumstances of your birth.
Seems like it does.
I got a feeling.
I got a feeling. I love that.
Curious.
Okay. I'm gonna actually, let me get back to you, Randy. So you're at this. You're before the temple. This is the. Actually, yeah, I believe this is the only structure in Juramentum that has multiple steps on the outside. That's it. Yeah, the only one. So this is
a ramp. Yeah.
This is actually a raised. Yeah, this is actually a raised structure, which again, you'd never seen. It forces your head. It's not huge. This is Juramentum. It's not Leptis Regium. So this is a small.
Tower doesn't count.
This is a small temple. But it's still a temple, and it still forces you to humble yourself before the eternal glory of Quaelathon.
Which I do willingly, because we just had our time. So I'm going to take a moment to actually give my prayers and benedictions to Quaelathon before walking inside.
You're about to go inside, so you see. Actually, as you were giving your prayers. I'm curious. Go ahead and make a perception roll. You did not then. Okay, all right. So
Never mind.
The first moment that you're aware of another beacon, another priest, another ordained priest, and you can tell that by the bronze circlet of faith on his forehead, is when he says, "Ave, Marcus, isn't it?"
I.
And Randy, did you? Are you alone?
How? When I got summoned for this inquest, how immediate was the "you must be here at this point" kind of thing, or was it just at your leisure? Please come and see us.
It was a firm request.
Okay.
It did still feel like a request.
I'll have Alba with me, but the rest
the rest
of the kids are off doing whatever.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah. I mean, of course, your brother wanted to be with you, but for once, your sister said, we've had enough. Let's go have some fun, yeah." And so she has your kids, the ones that need minding, the younger ones. Obviously, Livius is kind of a young man now? Question mark.
I'm going to send the single family coin that we have with Servilla to actually pay for anything the kids might want. Kind of a little treat for them at this point.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we're getting all of our needs met at this point, so it's just like,
Okay.
yeah.
You have one. You have one single. You want to explain the background of that coin right quick?
My family has never had money, and we have been holding on to one single emergency stash fund for years now. And when we left Pulux, we pretty much took everything that we had, but here there's such a sense of welcoming and ease and whatnot. So I feel like this is one of those days of celebration in a place that they have never been able to celebrate in before. And they might find something that they want. We have a coin. Let's use it. It'll come back to us. So.
That's so cute.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. No, it's to me that was love. By the way, that was all for our friends. That was all Randy. That had.
Hell yeah.
I had no. He had huge autonomy for making his family, the history of it, all that. Immensely creative. So that was not me. So the first time that you're aware of Beacon Gaius is when his thick hand falls on your bicep, and he greets you. He says, "Son, don't go in there. Stay out here with me."
Absolutely.
"Beacon Flavius. Better out here. Neutral ground, yes?"
In the light.
Well, And you hear a calling, "If you like." "Thank you." And Beacon Flavius comes trundling out. You see his Templar is with him, a dowdy older Kuwind man. You don't know his name. He's armed, as all Templar are, but it's not brandishing his weapon or anything. Just at his charge's side, because although they are of equivalent rank as far as the church hierarchy is concerned, all the Template are charged with protecting your clergy. And you did notice, and this would be different for you, at services, at the first services that you've attended here, which are big services because it was rekindling, which is a much more staid affair than the Kithki stomping on the ground and screaming and drinking and running around and other activities at night. Awakening, you did notice that there were, it wasn't 50-50, but there were at least maybe 2 out of 10 of the people there, 3 out of 10 were Akuand. And you're beginning to get more and more used to seeing people who don't look anything like you, but are very much integrated into the city. So there's some of the brothers also come out with Beacon Flavius, and if you like, that's fine, Beacon Gaius. Yes, it may as well be out here. Lord of Light knows there'll be more than enough to do inside of the temple soon. And at some unspoken agreement, some of the brothers begin to set out candelabras to either side of you. And they very carefully and with intent light each 5 candles here to represent the 10,
Right.
the 10 lights of the prime denomination.
Which side is the 7th on?
As you're facing the temple, that would be on your left.
Okay. Is there spots on the left side for seating and whatnot?
Oh, sorry. So it's you're actually still on the steps, Randy.
Okay.
So you could
Sure.
you could sit down, just kind of plop down on the steps.
Oh, wait.
You're gonna wait.
I'll wait this
Okay.
one.
Your wife Alba watches all of this kind of wide-eyed, and I feel like you've accepted it, accepted the opulence, accepted the wealth more quickly than she has. Again, feel free to veto me as the player.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm fully embracing Juramentum at this point. She's still, I wish we'd never left kind of feel.
Yeah.
So
Homesick.
She hasn't said anything since the episode at the gates, but you know she's really missing home right now. But she's there with you, and I never rightly saw a beacon, let alone 2 ups.
pretty big place, right? We're gonna need more than just our little humble 100.
This shrine makes me feel small.
Yes, quite so.
She just looks at it as with the soaring columns, the roof, and
I'm gonna lean into her. I like us better.
just smiles and smiles.
Take her hand and just move off to the side so the Beacon Flavius can come on down and whatnot.
Okay. There's a little bit of a crowd here, almost all human. You only actually see one Kithki here, a single Kithki.
Ooh. I've never met him, but
nobody,
anything
yeah.
discerning, like could I recognize him again should I come stumble across him or her?
Him, and he was actually one of the brothers who accompanied Beacon Flavius out. And he has a little, what looks like a ceremonial lantern in his hand.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to run with y'all for a bit, and I'm going to say about that time is when Titus and Merrick roll up, Nilishli slightly after you're coming, and so you're getting to see this, and I don't think your character's ever really gone out of her way to see the shrine. So you get to see this, to your eyes in this time and place, this grandiose looking structure that's raised with the soaring columns, the pitched roof, the tiled roof, all of that. It's lovely or too much or inspiring or contemptuous, all depending on you and how you're looking at it and how that feels. Okay. Your Catryn, that Weisa is going to be out and about.
Oh yeah.
And you're trying to hunt her down in the bedlam of awakening.
Yes.
And I'm going to say by this point, I think we can see the Juramentum map now. on camera, hopefully. At this point, so they started at the wedding pavilion, and this procession with clanging, dancing, tumbling. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I know my city. Yeah.
I mean,
Already have a pointer for us.
I know. I'm gonna wind up with
Break it off
my
with a 10
T-Rex
car.
arm's gonna wind up with like a laser pointer over there. It's gonna happen. So, yeah, they've been just wending their way through. Of course, this is the way that you always walk, so it's nothing to you. Mm-hmm. And as you're this is an interesting one. Capitalism meets Kifki. So, are you going to be targeting the many humans who also are participating in Awakening, or are you going to be trying to sell to Kifki? Because they're going to just snatch things on this day. Mm-hmm. They're not even going to think anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the humans are not going to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless you want to keep it above their heads, Weisa.
That is an adorable image.
Have on thanks.
No. I mean, gotta be smart. So,
Make money.
she's willing to give some, but not all. So she probably has her sack a bit close to her chest, really.
Okay.
And yeah, but she enjoys being around the Kifki quarters at this time, so she'll be around there.
Okay. You have. Do you make any of them jump?
No, but I
The grumble bellies absolutely will. They'll grouse about it, but they absolutely will.
Grumble for it.
Throw one as bait to get it.
all you have to do is say please.
Yeah, run the other way.
They'd rather grumble bellies. Come on.
It's fine.
The stack on top of each other. Okay. As
Swaying back and forth.
as the large caterpillar that is segmented into like half a dozen Kithki, it rounds on you and attacks. It turns around and attacks.
3 of them are in a trench coat. They're like, I'll buy one, please.
Climb on top of each other. Right. Build a pyramid.
Oh, I am but one man. I will have one.
She just giggles.
and actually at one point they catch the smell of your newest confections, and the caterpillar starts to kind of list off to the side disastrously. And come on, boys, we got to make it out to the bonfire at least. And you're passing by the Dewshine compound when Catryn, you catch up with Weisa.
She'll like run over. I have something for you.
Hey, Trin! Some of the Kithki who recognize you.
Oh. She's gonna keep talking to you.
Bombastic as
And I
always.
just kind of I'm kind of pushing some.
I mean, you've
some
got like
ones
a
away.
dozen. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got like a dozen of them around you.
One moment. Closed shop. Shop.
Yeah. Open.
Closed. Catherine, you have something for me?
I do, but I need to take you away from this. It's not really something I can show you.
The quartet
public.
starts up.
That's fine. Where should we go?
I don't know. What's a good private spot for us? We can always go to Pulia's.
That's fine, but maybe we just get out of the Kithki quarters.
That's
How
probably
about that?
smart. Okay.
So we'll walk down.
We can always go to the sparring pit.
Yeah, who else is fighting on
That
this
would be
day?
pretty empty. That would be pretty empty right now.
I don't know.
Oh.
It'd be crazy if there's
The
someone
public sparring pit would be pretty private at this moment.
That sounds
Nilishli's there, just.
Poor guy.
I love it. Yeah, so we can just walk over there.
okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So they're gonna
All right, so you have to sidle your way. Some of the humans, you're coming back, right? You're coming back.
Naturally, of course.
I didn't get a chance to eat any of the Colin fruit stuff yet.
I promise I'll be back in just a short while. It's a long day. Awakening is a grand, long day of celebration.
Yeah, we should have more of this in the church. And one of his friends like kind of makes a face. Shh, I mean, I'm here because I want to check it out, but And one of the human vendors, who's only recently, you actually happen to know this because he has a loud voice, and you're starting to compete for him. And
Compete for him or with him?
Oh, sorry, with him because he has like at a Ren fair where you have the heated pretzels, and it's the stick, and then you have the branches coming off. So you hear
Sail from the run.
What's his name? Who is he?
Jew.
his name is Rupilius. With a P.
Rupilius.
Yeah, Rupilius.
Right.
Call me Roops. And you hear Roops in the background, Colin Fruit! Colin Fruit! As he's thrusting it up into the air.
Everybody go get his fruit. Yeah. All the kids gonna run to that.
How garish.
Yeah.
Oh.
And,
That's a
no,
four-corner
you have to pay for it, but it's awakening. You have to pay for it. So now he's having. You were more up with the culture, so you knew what to expect even the first
Naturally.
time. But they're just swarming around him, and you see some particularly acrobatic touchdowns. I'm sad to say, Corey. Some of your people who are now doing the Kithki pyramid,
Of course.
behind him.
Of course they are.
And they're starting to hop onto the shoulders.
Like a bunch of ants swarming.
It's like an adorable World War Z. Giraffe. No. Yeah.
One of them snapped.
Roop doesn't know.
Roll-
Somersault in the air, and as he's coming
roll
up.
for your cousin and let me see if he snaps.
Come on, baby.
Oh, God.
Not good.
Okay.
He'll get back up. It's fine.
Roops doesn't even notice, and you make it to the. You do in fact make it to the sparring pit.
Beautiful. She's gonna take the gift
And
off of
oddly,
her.
this is semi-private,
It's yeah.
which is really weird because you're in the public sparring pit.
Are
but
you
there go.
still? Are you still there?
No, you're at the
Nilishli?
temple. Now.
I'm at the temple.
Oh, okay.
You're at the temple. This is happening at about. This is at about the same time that y'all are. Yeah.
Okay. She's gonna take the gift off of her back and put it. Is there like a rock or something that's like tall enough where I can place it on to something?
There are actually some sparring weapon tables and stands in
Okay.
if you
Yeah.
want to use one of the tables.
Yes. She kind of wants to make it like a big reveal.
Sure.
Ooh.
So she'll put it on the table, and because it's wrapped in probably like a cotton
Yeah.
something, it's clean.
No, it's
Don't
wrapped in
worry.
arpa hide.
I didn't
No,
let
no,
Figulus.
it's not.
I didn't let Figulus
It would be wrapped
wrap
in
this.
It would be wrapped in arpa
I
hide.
made
Clean
sure. I cleaned it before, and she'll open it. And then now, you have
Ooh.
a dagger.
A dagger of venom.
A very unusual looking creature. So, excuse me. The handle looks normal-ish. It's wrapped in leather, but the actual blade looks like the scales of a fish, or perhaps a serpent. Tatiana,
Cool.
I remember.
you remember?
Oh.
And the there is a subtle but definite greenish sheen to the entire thing. And as you're looking at it, it has a wicked edge
How big are we talking?
to it. Normal, like a Bowie knife. I mean, like a series.
Okay.
I mean, something to gut animals or a person with.
Rambo.
Yeah.
Do I get the sense this is
Call that a knife.
this is
Yeah.
what they've been working on for a while? Wow. It's completed.
We finished it last night.
Catherine, thank you so much.
Of course. You can actually ask and thank Figulus. He did most of it, but I helped where I could.
I give her a hug.
Oh, she's gonna hug back.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh.
We're so cute.
Look at yourself.
Well, gosh, in the sparring pit with my new dagger.
With your new deadly dagger, yes.
Whew, if only Nilly was here. But, wow. I feel like the gods are blessing this moment for me. In more ways than others. I I feel this is really special. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Whew. I'm gonna want to kind of run home
Oh, yeah.
and place it or take something else off of me. I feel like it's, I don't know what to do with this thing. This feels like kind of a big deal for me.
Okay. So you're gonna run. You're gonna take off.
I'm gonna take off real quick.
All right. To be clear, because I don't want there to be any confusion, even to the untrained eye, Tatiana, that dagger is clearly unnatural.
Yeah, I feel that.
Before she runs away, I'm gonna... No, wait. And then we should wrap it
Okay,
back up.
okay, smart. So wrap it. So okay, excuse me, because I'm just
No, sure.
I'm new to the world of weapons.
Sure.
I feel like it does need to be wrapped, but then how do I carry such a thing that has so much?
It'd be a second dagger, probably in a second sheath.
Okay.
But you'd want to make sure, you have your character's right-handed, so you usually have your dagger that you're drawing on your left side. Mm-hmm. This one you might want to put, depends on you, but you might want to put it, might make a boot sheath. You might have it behind here or just opposite side, wherever, depending on.
Okay.
And you can conceal it too, so people don't just see like, oh, what an ornate dagger. So you can't put it like right here, your hair back behind it. No one would know.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
so you don't have.
That's
I
kind of badass.
think it'd be better to keep it on yourself too, rather than anywhere else.
Oh, you can reach back and scratch your back and then pull it out.
Yeah.
Is Weisa gonna lose her iconic braided look though, as her hair?
Keeps the two braids on the side and leaves
Two
them.
braids on the side.
Two braids on the
Yeah, that's a good look.
Best of both worlds.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
All right.
It looks like two girls braiding their hair, but you're actually just concealing the most dangerous weapon in the city. It's a very funny look. Oh, we're just hanging out. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I feel like she just wants to go home and lay it at her altar for a moment. She feels this is like literally a gift, beyond a gift, and she wants to just sit with that for a moment before entering into the festivities again.
Yeah, and Catherine will shoot you, like, go, put it away.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Off I go.
Okay. You hear your name called, and that's where I'm going to cut.
No.
Why are you so scared?
No.
So these two beacons come out, and Beacon Gaius asks his prime counterpart, did our colleague from his eyes, which is the third and last of the denominations that are inside of Juramentum, he should be here by now, shouldn't he? I don't know. He's certainly got a mind of his own. 12th light and all of that. Thinking the rest of us are in rebellion to the Lord of Light.
I snorted that quietly.
Hey, Flavius looks at you and nods approvingly at the disapproval, and he says, "But it is at the appointed torch, and we must be finished with this before high sun for this to be all above board. We would not want to be conducting an inquest as the light waned, after all, would we?"
Yeah.
And Gaius shakes his head. And in that context,
Inquest.
We'll see. That's silly folk.
Domini, thank you for attending. I understand that your sister, your venerated sister, cannot attend. She is
She's of the Meadows estate.
dealing with, the repairs from the storm last night. Well, and you see you see an older wizened figure making his way over from the direction of the keep. It's gonna take the seneschal though a while to get over here, but he's.
Can I just assess kind of the mood and the tone of these different beacons and kind of general feeling here?
General feeling, yeah. Make an insight check.
Which one's dressed better, Gaius or Flavius?
Oh, Flavius.
Yeah, I'd be
by far.
Flavius, pious as always, and I'm gonna grab his really fine cloak and make it wonderful.
He's dressed more finely than you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Always as pious and just a man of the people.
Pretty darn good. 25.
Woo.
25 for the insight. Okay.
Wow.
Now you weren't focused on one person though. Otherwise, that would give you a lot.
Right.
If you'd focused on one person, but you see Beacon Flavius looks truly concerned and focused on Marcus, but you don't, and I'm also going to slant this toward your character, Corey, because the first and most important thing that he would be assessing is violent intent.
Exactly, danger.
You're not catching that from the senior Beacon here. From Beacon Gaius, there's almost a protectiveness, and you can see that by the way that he's hovering at Marcus's side. So even when Marcus went off to one side, Gaius didn't just stay in the center and take up as much of the limelight as possible. He shifted over, not right on top of Marcus either, but just keeping in his immediate area.
Okay.
And as is typical for Beacon Gaius, he came without his Templar. He's alone, or any of the brothers, or any of his brothers even. He is here alone. And as is also typical, he flouts the fact that he knows the secret of the word and can carry scroll and ink openly in this city, which he does. Gaius can, yeah. You assume Beacon Flavius is as well, but he does not. There's no hint of that with him.
Got it. It's more private.
Gaius has all black ink fingers, and he doesn't.
Yeah, probably actually.
Yeah,
that's
very
good,
manicured.
but,
Yeah, okay.
Probably so.
And Rutilius is on his way.
Yes, Seneschal
I'll be like-
Rutilius is on his way.
Beacons, please excuse me. I'm going to go and help my old friend, and I'll start walking out to go and kind of like aid him out.
Okay, all right.
Right. Winters, but yeah.
I mean, are you within sight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so the last thing I'll say is that as you're waiting, because you went off to get the Seneschal and then you're coming back, you at about the same time that you fetch him, make it back to this gathering, there are 5 other people who arrive, all of them known to you. So they're all from the 12th Light. One of them is a burly, florid-faced Templar named Cassius or Cassius, depending.
Where am I during this?
You're right next to Mirk.
Oh, I'm inside. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
seeing all the same thing.
Yeah. You're sorry. Yeah, you're seeing all the same thing.
Okay.
And actually, that's a good question. Who would you like to be closest to while this is going on? Do you want to be near Marcus? Are you just going to kind of be experiencing like the stone columns?
I think I'm gonna be like kind of off on my own a little bit.
Okay.
I'm kind of, this is the first time I'm seeing like another temple.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at everything in this space and becoming acquainted with it.
Yeah.
Does this temple alley from this description and this feel? How does it hit her? Does she see it as a beautiful thing? Does she see it as an abomination? How does it hit her?
I think she finds it really beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, she finds it really, really beautiful. And she likes the light. Like she's intrigued by the light.
Even though she was made by
Yeah.
the Mother of Winter. I love that. No,
Yeah.
okay.
But can I ask if when I first came in there, can I have sensed anything as far as like divinity in the room?
Make a religion check.
Are we outside for the ceremony, right?
Yeah, you're
Oh,
you're
okay,
outside.
15. Yeah, 15.
Curiously, no.
No sense.
No.
Okay.
As I fetch Rutilius, I do want to be like, "Say hello, Rutilius," because I do have Jerem with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as I walk back, I'm
That's
like,
really interesting.
I feel as though we're in a bit of a show, Rutilius. Should be interesting.
No good will come of this, Domini, but perhaps not so much bad if we do well.
Not wrong. You never are.
Thy ward, my lord.
Yes. Say hello. Yeah.
Look at you, Jerem.
He's completely passed out and I'm bags under my eyes because of the storm. He was just up crying and I was
Ooh.
taking care of him the whole night. So I'm like, hey, good to see you, Rutilius. Like, I'm not myself, but the baby's
You
just
flap the
passed out.
baby's hand.
Yeah, it's just like, just passed out.
Okay.
He had a wonderful evening.
When you grow up, you're going to be Jerem ap Vorn.
Oh, maybe. I wouldn't want to put that curse on anyone but you. Even though you've been a blessing, Vitellius.
No, Domini. It's been a blessing, an absolute blessing. What a wonderful ride.
I love you too. And then I'll just like hold his arm and like kind of walk him in like a grandfather kind of figure. Yeah.
You're certainly closer to him than you are to your own flesh and blood.
100%.
Grandsire. Okay, so you're coming back, and as they're making their way, like I said, so there's this burly Templar. There are 4 others that have various states. I do have descriptions for them, but I don't want to bog down the narrative too much. If it becomes germane, we can go into more. But you recognize them all as his lights. So the Templars have rough equivalent. I mean, that's a high rank to be equivalent to an ordained priest.
There's 5 of them
in the Church of Light. Well, there's the Templar, and then his 4, and then the 4 lights are with him.
Okay.
No, there are only 3 Templars in the city, Corey.
Okay.
So one for each beacon to protect them. You are not as familiar with the 12th Light's, frankly, politics. Physically, it's the shrine that's furthest away from the Kithki quarters. Mm-hmm. It's actually tucked all the way into the southeast corner of the map.
In general, how do they view us and on our religious beliefs? I mean, just in general, kind of like, are they the most hostile?
Well, I'll say it this way: they think that the other 2 denominations are out of order with the Lord of Light. So you can imagine what they think you are.
Okay.
Like sparrows in Game of Thrones.
And just so you understand, so that you understand as a player, your character would know this: the 12th Light is subservience.
Oh,
right?
Oh, yeah, really.
Ooh. That having been said, they are to the state. They have been absolutely dedicated to the city. I mean, this Templar Cassius, you would actually probably know. You judge him to be the physically most capable of the 3 Templars here, and he trains his lights almost the way that you train the Myrmidons.
Yep.
And they never shirk if there's an Urtini raid, if there's anything like that, and it involves their parishioners, they're out.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and he isn't necessarily coming, in that moment he isn't necessarily coming to attack, but he's storming up, and he stops at the base of the steps and just has a hard look across his face.
Merrick will actually take one meaningful step towards Marcus. As that happens, this kind of as a kind of like a mirroring motion.
A bit of a brash man.
Kind of like a
I'll help you if you need it.
Okay. Make an intimidation check, kind of defensively, as he's gonna put the full weight of his glare on you.
Not intimidating at all.
Okay.
Oh, no.
He forces you to flinch. You stay there. But you can feel him. His presence is heavy.
As I walk over through Chili's, though, I'll be like, "Good to see you again, Templar Cassius." And kind of like step a little bit in between the flinch of that. And be like, "Good to see you."
He, as is his wont, he actually, when he's greeting you for the first time after a while, he drops down to one knee in a full bow.
And I bow back.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Blessed morn, Domini.
To the light.
And indeed, he gets up, and then his eyes fix back on Marcus. Well, I had asked all of you to come here, although not all of you. Although, of course, my lord,
He's always welcome.
Your family city.
And Marcus is part of our family as well.
He's become life sworn?
No.
To your house?
He's a citizen of Juramentum.
Oh, well, yes.
That is my family.
Yes.
You understand. Actually, I always remember you don't, but that's okay.
That is to say, I just needed to, did someone get we need this recorded. Where are the scriveners? And Beacon Gaia says, I can act as scrivener, Beacon, it's fine. Well, no, that's beneath your station. It's he says, it absolutely isn't. I'm a follower of the third light. It's
Service is a station. Yeah.
and the third light is wisdom, and they, prize knowledge, of course. So Beacon Gaius begins to set up a little stool and a little tripod, and you get to see someone for the first time in your life, Randy, very deliberately, openly, not in a rush, not in the field, employ the secret of the word. And you see him grinding up the ink cube, adding water to it, the whole process.
Less important to him. I'm just still looking at Cassius, though, Flavius. Getting a feel for them both.
Oh, the two of them? Okay.
I also think Nilishli at this point, when she saw him
The
walk
five of them. Okay.
Yeah, I think she would start slowly making her way back.
Okay. Where do you drift to?
If Marcus is on the left and Merrick's next to him, I think I would probably go on the other side of Marcus.
So quite close.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're actually in between. You're actually in between the Templar and Marcus at this point, probably like on a lower step.
Yeah.
Okay. Flavia says, I needed to know. Remind me again what your name is.
Marcus.
Right. Right. I remember you were at services at Rekindling. I hadn't seen you before, and I apologize. I didn't realize that you were the cause of, that you were you.
No need to apologize, Beacon. It was a lovely ceremony. I'm glad to be participating in it.
Oh, I appreciate that. I try my best. I work hard at, never mind.
Titus will start laughing at the work hard.
We need, let me see if he actually touches that.
You should invite him to the field.
Yeah. Why don't you help me over the top?
Starting up trouble.
For just a
Father Gaius, I know.
For just a very brief moment, Beacon Flavius looks over to you and you say that, and then back.
Something in my throat, I apologize.
No doubt, Domine. Well, I needed to approach these claims, you see. These, problematic. I hear that you, have some talent in the healing arts, no?
A bit, yes.
In fact, more than a bit.
As is given to me by whomever. As I look up.
Whomever. So, you aren't a member of the Church of Light?
Oh no, I am. As I pull out my seventh candle.
Okay. And describe to our friends what it looks like.
It is a cotton candle. It is woven together, probably an intricate braid. And it needs to be periodically redone because it wears itself out as you just live. So, and this one looks pretty new-ish.
It is, and it is the nicest thing by far that you own. Because remember how your wife got it.
It is, yes.
So it's, yeah.
So
Earth and home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seventh light.
Yeah, seventh light. And he says, I myself, a seventh light. I myself have the burden of both the third and the fourth lights. You see, wisdom wed to prosperity, so that my flock can make their way through this world. And it's in that context that I'm trying to, I'm grappling, Marcus. Help me understand.
I think
what it is that you claim that, and you can see him. You can see him sweating. Not to put too fine a point of it, but
yeah, I'll put like a hand out and be like, Beacon Gaius, do you have any questions for Marcus until you can get your thoughts correctly for Beacon Flavius?
Not to put too fine a point of it, but your character is a lord, and the Beacon Flavius is coming. He's bumping up against having to contradict you because your testimony is
but Beacon Gaius. Yeah, I want Beacon Gaius to have his opportunity to speak.
I do.
I
do actually have some questions, but he is the senior Beacon here, Domine.
Oh, I was just saying until he gets his thoughts straight.
I have my thoughts. I have thoughts. I have thoughts.
In time to get them in order.
Well, it is to say that apparently there was you're writing this down? Of course I am. That there was to say a
Healing.
light. He looks physically nauseated as it leaves the barrier of his teeth. As those words leave the barrier of his teeth, swallows. Yes, a healing light. You hear Templar Cassius drawing a hard breath. Doesn't move. Doesn't react otherwise.
Matter of factly, I.
And you said, whomever.
Yes.
So you believe that this could have been a demonic force then?
Absolutely not. It was given to me by Quailethorn.
Not whomever?
Not whomever.
And his brothers, Kuwind, Kithki, and an Old Empire are arrayed around him, and as one, when you say that openly, they gasp and they take a step back. He does not. And he kind of looks around frantically.
I had the same reaction.
Yes, well.
To be fair, as did I. But it was a moment.
And this event can be attested to.
Multiple people, magistrate, 2 patricians, priests.
2 patricians.
Isn't that something? He had more than one. I would love that.
Does 2 mean something special?
2 means more than one.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Lady Vale.
Oh, I knew that.
Okay.
Marcus, with due respect, and of course, with all respect to your glorious and founding house,
Take it
Domini,
easy.
you must have been mistaken.
Are you putting my word?
No, of course
As a
not.
mistake?
Absolutely not, Domini. I'm saying...
And another patrician of Lady Vale's, who was a charge, Brother Adrian.
I'm certainly not contradicting her. She has an Old Empire air about her. I'm simply
So you're only
saying...
contradicting me.
Right, you want to apply to her? By blood?
Rutilius, please speak on my behalf.
Rutilius looks at him. This is an inappropriate line of inquiry, Beacon. Forgive me, but no, this must end. I am certain that, if requested, I can provide you with the full and fulsome account of just what happened through multiple sources and multiple eyewitnesses. However you slice it, though, as my young lord does say, yes, it was a healing light. Yes, the first miracle in 217 winters. I know, I looked it up. And this man was the bearer.
By my own eye. And I'll be the eye to him.
Fine.
Yeah, and I'm going to show him that white dart. I'm like...
I'm going to give off his hand a squeeze, because this is real nerve-wracking right now.
I want to look back towards Marcus and
She's shaking, but she squeezes.
I want to give
her
you
hand
like
back.
an assurance of sorry about these politics, like that kind of said within the eye. But
Beacon, I think you've had a good first pass. Well, you've had a good first pass. Gaius stands up from his stool, wipes himself off.
like, Rutilius, will you record whilst he asks his questions?
Of course, Beacon Gaius, if I may. Have at. He comes up. He takes the silver candle out from around his neck and puts it on display. Marcus, what you have experienced, and which those whose word I have never had cause to doubt have corroborated, is nothing short of... It changes our world. It means that our faith, which was once something that was a subtle and quiet thing, has now come out into the light, with you as its... I don't want to blaspheme. I don't know what the right terminology is. The first thing that a beacon of the fourth light must understand is his own ignorance. I'm ignorant in this. Yes, Seneschal, you do rightly say that there are recorded happenings of this 217 years ago. Jason Tenderheart was said to heal people. And given who and what he was, I have no doubt that it happened just the way it was said. Is this something that happened as a one-time blessing from our Lord of Light? Or is this something that you feel in your heart and in your soul is going to continue on past that remarkable day? This is a serious matter. Think before you answer. Wars may be fought over this, Marcus. He actually puts a hand on your shoulders. Lives may be lost. This is no trifling affair. Already, our churches, our denominations, locally, are in uproar, and already I know that the good Templar Cassius has sent word down the river to our superiors. They must know of this as well. I serve at the pleasure of his grace, who is the primate of Leptis Regium. I do not know what he will say. But I want to hear, before I say or do anything else, before any of us do, I want to hear from your lips. What is the state of affairs betwixt yourself and Quaelathon?
I feel overwhelmed most days thinking about it. But I know, after that first initial shock wore off, that this is something that ain't going away. It's here to stay.
He lets go of you.
It's scary, but it ain't something we can turn away from. And it ain't something we can put back into the darkness.
I mean him no harm. He takes out a small penknife. If I cut myself, here and now, and you hear his colleague, Flavius, don't! If I cut myself, you could repair the damage. If the Lord of Light so wills, I understand. Of course, you're not a will worker. It's not something that you do. You are merely a vessel. Right. I understand that. And I understand that if I have not pleased him, no power would be forthcoming. I accept that. But could you?
I believe I could. I will try.
Quaelathon would have to try. Don't risk it, Father.
So far, it's only been in desperation and need.
Not by choice.
Will Quaelathon think of that as need here?
I could cut myself badly enough, Domini, with respect, that there was need for it.
I wish you wouldn't.
He does laugh a little bit. Not today. And
Father Flavius, would you like to volunteer? No, I'm kidding. Beacon Flavius.
yeah, so the
It's my Catholic me. I keep saying Father. Damn
Beacon,
it.
it's fine.
Yeah.
So Beacon Flavius says, Domini Seneschal, then. I did not want it to come to this, but I do then, under the authority vested in me by his grace, Vibius Longinus, primate of Leptis Regium, steward of his 10 perfect lights, declare that this man, Marcus of Pollux, be under trial for blasphemy.
What?
It's Marcus of Juramentum.
With
Beacon
respect,
Flavius.
Domini, from
You've not shown much.
Pollux. And you hear murmurs from the Templar's men. The Templar remains stony, and he says, I ask that you return here tomorrow then at dawn. If you do not, I will assume you are in rebellion from his church, and I will act accordingly.
Understood. I have nothing to fear from his light. I will see you at dawn.
Nilishli's gonna chip in here and be like, Beacon,
He starts to turn, and then
this man has worked the will of your God. Surely this is confirmation for you.
who art thou, child? as he sees your moon skin, your obsidian hair, this artifact of a weapon across your back.
Oh my god.
All 5'11" of you.
Is he scared of her?
I mean,
I think everyone is.
I hope so.
Yeah, is he intimidated at all?
you can try to get a read on him if you want.
I want to read, but I don't want to do an intimidation.
Okay.
Quite yet.
Yeah, insight.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh.
It's -2 for you. So.
No.
Intimidation would have been a little better.
4.
You are still not entirely certain about these weird people called humans, and this one seems particularly weird.
Okay. Okay.
But he is staring intently at you and kind of looking down.
I feel like Nilishli is a little bit jarred, but at the same time she's meeting his gaze. My name is Nilishli.
And he makes the sign of faith across himself. And you don't intend to be here at dawn, do you?
Why ever not?
And Beacon, some of the brothers gather around him, open up the collar a little bit. One of them offers him wine. He pushes that aside. Not now. He says, I will explain our position fully at the trial, but it is enough to say for the non's child, if such you are, that this man would usurp the place of the Lord of Light by saying, and Gaia says, Beacon Gaia says, you mean he would usurp the place of the beacons and of the church hierarchy?
Yeah.
And he says,
Titus will take out his light, which is the iron with the ruby in it, and be like, we all follow our own. Some are better than others. No, because it's the iron of war light.
No, all lights are equal. That is what the Concord tells us.
And I'll look over at Templar Cassis. We'll see you in the morning. And then I'll be like, Templar Cassis, may I speak to you? Okay. I'll let Beacon Flavius. Damn, this is tricky.
It's going to be hard. It's
God damn it.
It's going to be
It's
hard.
calling a lot on Father Matt and Father O'Neill right now that I'm like, God damn it. They're both so great.
Beacon Flavius looks back at you, and as he almost seems transfixed, like he keeps trying to turn to walk back up the steps, but he just can't finish.
He glance back all the time.
And he says, only ordained lights, ordained beacons with his light flowing through. Only we are capable of channeling his will, child, and only we could possibly heal. And it has not been done for over 2 centuries.
She's just gonna go, ha!
Probably about the same time I'm like, huh.
Yeah, probably.
Cassius does something that's out of character for him, because he's normally by the book.
Oh, yeah.
He starts taking the steps 2 at a time. He says, pardon me, Domini. And here's your trial. And
Can I
What the fuck?
react since I'm next to him?
you can try.
Was he going towards Marcus?
Yeah, who is he going?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, because
Marcus,
he's in
no!
between and I'm next to him, too,
He's
so
gonna
he'll
teach
have
you
to
how to
get through me.
read.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see in a sec. We'll see in a second. He's going to try to juke. Okay.
What?
What?
Come on.
I love this.
So much.
Woo! Son of a bitch.
So you hear your name called.
Oh my goodness.
Is it from behind me?
Off to the side. Off to the side, but a little bit behind. Yeah. Trin!
Oh. Hi.
Hey. It's Finny. It's Finny the Younger, who has been your best friend and for most of your life your only friend, who met you at 6 winters old, and he was also 6 winters old as you were literally scratching in the dirt. outside of your family hut. He says, I thought you could hear me, and you went away. What are you doing at the sparring pit?
Oh, I was giving a gift to somebody. I'm really never in here. You know me. I don't.
Yeah, I know. I was a little surprised and honestly concerned. You see, he's carrying a bow now, and he had undone the peace knot around his dagger.
Were you trying to protect me?
Maybe.
Wow, that's not very like you.
No, it's this whole Myrmidon thing, and my dad keeps on about you need to join the Myrmidons, and all these things.
Are you training?
No, I'm not.
Then why are you holding a bow?
Well, I trained a little bit last winter, and just, I don't know. They keep saying that there's going to be war, blood, and all of that, and I finally found somebody who knew what happened to Cousin Perrin, and it's a really sad story. Wow. And I wanted to tell you, but not on Awakening, because Awakening is a beautiful day, and it's a celebration of, that we got through another winter. But anyway, Trin, I was thinking about leaving town, so I could, be a minstrel, and I could go to other places and see other things like Cousin Perrin did, and I really, really care about you, and I was wondering if maybe you wanted to come with me.
She's gonna walk up to him and give him a really, really big hug.
Oh, we're hugging? Oh, okay, we're hugging.
We always hug. What do you mean?
Yeah, just normally I have to, kind of wrestle with you a little bit, and, and then we hug, and it's...
I don't know. My emotions are everywhere. I don't know. It's been a very interesting...
He does the Kithki thing where he slides his hand down into yours as you're talking.
You know I can't go with you.
I don't know that.
You do know that.
No, Trin, I really don't.
I know.
That man, you know he has a lot of coin. He dresses like a beggar and he kind of smells like one, but he's rich. And he did all that adventuring stuff, right?
But he did adventuring for a reason. I can't just leave.
Yeah, so he can retire and he can hire people to get him trout and bring things to him. And yeah, I've kind of been a little bit crazy, and I've been kind of keeping tabs on what he's been doing and when you go to the market, and...
Are you following me?
Maybe.
Oh.
I just wanted to not be ignorant, because I know how much you hate ignorance, and I don't want to be anything that you hate.
I would never hate you.
No.
I could never hate you.
And I even asked some of my seppu, and they said, yeah, they can take care of him as long as he doesn't eat them. And I had to explain to them that he's not really half Utini, even though that's kind of the rumors, because he screams a lot and
he does scream.
Really mean.
Yeah, and he smells really bad.
And we thought that maybe he was chewing on the arpo hide that he keeps collecting. It's like a chew toy,
That seems
because he's half Utini.
Yeah.
But we can just leave food outside and make sure he doesn't freeze and all that. He kind of likes the grannies, I think. Anyway, he talks to them sometimes,
Sometimes.
So, you don't... What I'm saying is, and he grabs both of your hands and he squeezes, I'm saying you don't... This doesn't have to be your life if you don't want it to be. You can do something that's bigger. You can go somewhere else that's not that hut and not even Juramentum and not here.
But I need to stay here. I need to fight. There's things here.
Why? He lets go and he walks in a circle around. Why?
She's gonna walk up to him and hold his face.
Okay.
And kiss him on the forehead. Because I have a purpose here.
What, to cook him trout and change his chamber pot?
No, this is not for him. This is for me. This is for here. This is for us. It's different. There are things that I can do that are different.
I know that.
And I need to stay here. There's people here that I love, and I love you, and I want you to stay.
I love you too.
Where would you go?
I don't know. I thought about maybe heading, toward the Shire at first, but it's a big trip, so I was gonna go down to maybe Weisa or Zahar, or maybe even Arbella. They have the Ganjavi Theater there.
They do.
I heard it's beautiful, and they learn to sing and dance and all kinds of something called acting there, and yeah, and they're even Kiski there now.
You can't go by yourself, but I can't go.
I'm not gonna go by myself,
Who are
but
you taking?
well, some of my seppu, we want to go, we want to see. Not everybody wants blood.
No, well, I don't either, but we're set in this space. This is what's happening, and we can't avoid it. But you, go. Enjoy life. Do the things that you want to, and I know that you would be amazing at those things.
How am I gonna enjoy life without my best friend?
Maybe I'll come visit you, and then you can... Whatever show that you have, I'll come watch it. You can send me, like a scroll that is inviting me to it, and I'll come travel.
Yeah, you have the secret of the word. Okay. And unlike human men, Kiski men, they don't care if they're crying.
Yeah.
There's no shame in it. Well, I'm not done. I'm gonna figure something else out.
She'll laugh. I know.
He starts to turn. He turns back to you. No, I'm not gonna wait. There's no law in Juramentum saying that a Kithki and a human can't get married. I'm just saying, just think about it, okay? I'll be back. He turns and wipes his face a little bit more and walks away. All right, so that is our first cliffhanger ending.
Oh,
as
damn it.
Templar Cassius is attempting to lunge past the Fellowship as his lights are taking out their distance weapons and also charging in, as is most tactically appropriate, so they can murder Marcus and take out the person who is clearly in rebellion clearly in rebellion to his radiance. So we will pick that plot thread back up when we return next episode.
Oh gosh.
And at the back of this intermission is going to be a very, very different vignette that we're going to be telling, as we have done for the last two. And we're going to be looking in at Lord Titus and Lady Vale. So, hoped.
She's not going to propose on the second day.
Whoa.
I'm in tears over what that was.
Hey, it's been a decade coming with Finney. It's legit.
Oh,
So,
poor baby.
he's always loved,
Finney,
he's
man.
always loved you as soon as he saw you. Yeah. Lots of pre-sessions on that too. Okay.
Oh boy.
So we will see you back here, Faraway Friends, in roughly a little bit. I think today it's actually a little under 15 minutes, but we have a new treat for you. We have a little Nilishli action going on, and so this will be the debut of Nilishli's not only her bio, but certainly more importantly, her fabulous theme song.
Yeah.
OMG!
Yeah, it's pretty.
Haven't
very
heard
excited.
It's
it.
pretty good. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you heard it?
I have heard
Ah,
it.
ooh.
So see you in 15. Thank you.
Oh god.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
And we return, and we have an unusual
I get
person
to light the candle.
lighting the candle of tales over here.
It's a big deal for me.
It is a big deal.
If I can actually get it lit. Beautiful.
You got it?
Wunderbar.
Awesome. Right. So we're going back a bit before we had the incident, the temple stairs. Before I forget, faraway friends, I'm being a bad host once more. We have a trivia question that I meant to set up. I got swept away. So the trivia question is for another $25 gift certificate to Eldritch Foundry. What is the name of the battle that birthed Juramentum? What's the name of the battle that won them their freedom or won them their land? Okay. So
It's such an easy one, and I want a $25 gift card.
Yeah.
Nice. The cost of having to be Titus.
that's right. Well,
I get
that's-
my own city, but I don't get any gift cards.
no gift cards for Titus. Sorry. Okay, so you as a 5th lighter and then a 6th lighter, which is interesting. So you basically stay there for one stayed service right after the next. You're a little bit before high sun, and you take off. There's a lot of details I'm going to skip over here. But what eventually winds up happening is you're to meet the Lady Vale at high sun, or as close to high sun, at the Western Gate.
Yeah, I would have packed food, provisions, set everyone for the guards, made sure that Merrick was taken care of so he wouldn't be following me. Because that's what he usually tends to do. But yeah, everything in the city's in order, and I would have met her at the gate, just kind of ready in marching order. I have my sword. I don't have my shield or my pylon, but it's just the one thing that I always carry with me. No armor, but the more common version of that, and kind of a traveling cloak. So not to give any away that we would be two patricians carrying on together. I'm sure she probably would have done the same.
Or not. You're learning about her.
Well, she always would just assume that I'm probably always trying to dress common rather than regal. So.
Hail, Domini.
Lady Vale.
And
at the gate. Okay.
yeah, to the gate, the quad that's manning the gate.
Oh, you my Myrmidon.
Well, sire, you're out.
I'll be going on a quick ride. Perhaps be back in a 3-day time.
They look at each other kind of wide-eyed. Do you need anyone accompanying you?
Yeah.
Domini.
I'll just flick my sword. I'm like, I'll be all right.
Very well, as you say.
Keep a close eye on things.
Of course. Lord going. Lord going. The double release on the gate that must be triggered, one on one side, one at the other simultaneously for the gate to open goes. And with that, you have a lady, an emerald-tressed lady, on a creature that hasn't been seen in this part of the continent.
Oh, Oedipus, so good to see you. And I'll reach out, kind of like slowly, hand away to put on, and then I packed a treat just for him.
Just for him?
Yep.
Okay. It's funny. I was actually debating on changing the rules a little bit for her and for the animal as far as you interacting. So to start with, make a even though it's a rough roll for you, Donnie, make an animal handling roll at advantage.
That is 13.
Okay.
And a crit.
Dude, it's
Dude,
something
no.
about her and that
No.
horse that loved
No,
me.
I'm looking at it.
Oh, God.
It is a 20. Okay.
Whew. So 19, but
Yeah,
still crit.
That's still a crit. She actually says, I still don't understand this. And you just you touch the side of Erebus,
So good to see you.
and you feed him a collen fruit.
Collen fruit tart or carrot, whatever I would have had. Something that I would have probably have known what he would have liked by then. If I was there for 3 days.
the sweet northern collen fruit.
Yep. And I would have spent that, and I'm like, I have more for you if you need it. Yeah, leading into just Erebus. If you want any more, let me know. Shall we be making our way, Lady Vale?
He's going to be fat.
Well, Yeah, you've run him enough. I'm sure he'll be able to work it off.
She doesn't say much. She just kind of gives you a weird look as the horse doesn't shy away from you. If anything, it's
Nuzzling.
you, getting a little closer. And she just shakes her head and says, "And to think I was worried about this relationship." And just look as
Yeah. And I'm like entirely like, excuse me, what? As I'm just petting him, like not really hearing her, but acting like I don't.
oh God.
Oh, Elvis. Yeah.
And
Shall we get going?
yes, before my own steed humiliates me any further. Although she says that with a smile on her face.
Yeah, a smile back.
And you leave. Yeah, I was sorry I didn't say that, but I was picturing that happening. Basically, that exchange happening as you're departing. You hit the tree line, and as far as the guards of Juramentum or any of its denizens are concerned, you vanish.
Is she wearing her full articulated plate, no cover call, or is she still as regal, battle ready, or?
She's battle ready. She's taken some of the larger pieces off, and you see them packed. So, like the pauldrons, she's taken off.
So chest plate, like ranger gear.
Chest plate, I mean heavy, but not full. But she has brought everything with her, though.
Yeah, I would in my pack I would have taken out. Remember when I buried Nibs with that cloak? I have like an older one of that. I'm like, just so if anyone asks if you're with House One, if you'd like to wear it, it's quite comfortable, and like give that to her so less suspicious. If there's anyone on the road, they know they were patricians, but rustic as opposed to leftists.
A reasonable precaution.
Fits well.
It does. It's funny, I can't remember the last time I wore a cloak and thought to myself, I wish I was a little taller or it's dragging.
Thank God you're on Oedipus. We can have it hemmed for you.
And as you're just trotting along, it's slow, clop, 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 as you're making your way through the forest. I can't believe I'm saying this, but do you want to join me? See if he tolerates it.
Oedipus?
There's only been one other person, a woman at that he's ever allowed ride him. I don't know.
If it's all right with him.
Harry? How are you doing? How are you doing?
It's 100% dog owners.
You see she takes her gauntlet off. She's taken her gauntlets off, stowed those as well in this really meticulous way. Lashed them, and she's petting him and actually massaging the back of his neck a little bit as you're going through. Yes, come. I think it is. Come on.
I think you have to tell me what to do. I've only ever tried to ride an Oppo, and that ended up in a broken collarbone. But
you're lucky that's all you got.
My other friends weren't as lucky. Jubilo still kind of has a limp, and Ellery always had a lisp, but it made it worse. Lepidus can't break him.
All right, here. She gets Ari to stop with her easy grace, dismounts, and she says, and here, and here. Now you're tall, so taller than I am, so it won't too much. Little bend at the knee, pull, and jump at the same time. And
Please be good. Yeah, she has a quick prayer. He chops up as he can.
Make an athletics check.
That is 16.
Okay.
Thank God.
It's a bit awkward. It's a bit awkward, and she almost touches you at one point to help get you up there, but you. She looks at you. All right, a little rough, but little muscle there, less efficiency, but well done. Okay.
I feel like I look ridiculous. Yeah.
You do. It's all right. And she moves. Now I need enough space to get up there.
Okay.
And
So, do you just tell him to go?
it's all in the knees, actually. I mean, I do have a bridle and rein, but hold on to me. I don't want you to fall.
Yeah, he's actually, the first time Titus has actually been afraid, but he's like, oh no, I'll be fine. Everything will be quite all right.
So you travel The pair of you travel as you've never traveled before. You've been years in the field, basically your whole short life, and yet you've never been on anything that wasn't you or slower than you.
Yeah.
Because the mules that you use definitely are no speed demons.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, as he starts on the cusp of it, he's like panicking, and then he slowly starts kind of looking back and being like, "Oh, this is quite lovely," and he starts really actually having fun.
It really is, isn't it?
Where did you get out of it? I've never seen a creature like this. Actually, it should be, I've never seen a creature like this. Says it trotting.
Yeah. Yeah, you're still going pretty slowly, but
Yeah. He's still terrified.
she says, Titus Metellus, you're right in my ear.
I'm sorry, Lucretia. I'm just nervous.
Lucretia Tarquinia, we're not married.
Lucretia, sorry, I'm nervous. Yeah.
And she says, actually, he was a rather elaborate courting gift, if you can imagine that.
I can. Yeah, as he yells back, looking at it like, from where?
From a city in the Emirates. He wouldn't know it.
Erebus?
No, farther.
That's all the father that I know. Yeah. Who was he?
A man of significant means, who is very persistent.
And you said what?
No.
Of course. I know you have your choice, but he's just nervous, just running nervously.
And she says, but my past imbroglios are not what's on my mind now. I'm honestly looking forward to those hot springs.
They are quite lovely.
All right, so y'all travel. She quiets down. She stays alert.
And the whole time I'm just kind of inspecting like the saddle, where things are kept, kind of getting used to it, kind of looking up and just really enjoying it.
Starting to get your bearings. She does have you get off at one point because you're heavy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And poor Erebus isn't going to be able to carry you, both of you.
Yeah,
The
I give him a
entire
call
way.
of fruit, yeah.
But, and then at one point she also gets off. She doesn't seem in a super hurry
Yeah.
to get there. She also dismounts and leads him along.
I thought she wanted to just run me on top of Erebus to make me nervous, and then to hop off and be like, I will walk.
She does not trust you that much.
Oh, that's adorable.
So you get to walk alongside. You were never on Airy alone.
Oh, no. I meant when we first hopped on, she'd run to scare me.
Yeah.
No, not alone.
Yeah, no. No, still does not trust you that much.
That's fair.
And in a surprisingly short amount of time, though, Donnie, you break into a copse of trees, and there's a smell. Well, sorry. So there is a night on the road. That's nothing to you. And without, it's the first thing she said in torches. Then she just says, "I'll take first watch."
Fair enough. I know there's better, though, if you don't mind. Or should I take it when it's darker? I'll take second. Thank you. And Erebus will take third, won't you? And I'll, pet him. Feed him again.
Gives you a wicker.
Yeah, I'll make him fat. Yeah.
I see that. Okay, so night passes, you get to, and you get to this point, the air is a little moister, there's a strange smell on the wind that isn't entirely unpleasant, but it's pungent. You don't really have a name for it. It's all those minerals. She says, mind the snake's nest, not too far off to the south, but they don't go as far as the springs.
Yeah. I like to stay on the rocks. I'm not a fan of snakes.
And here we are. And you see,
I've been here before, though, right? This is on Juramentum's land.
it is, but you have not been here before.
Oh, okay.
You knew of its existence, but you have not personally. You don't know how.
Yeah. I've known
You
plenty
never
of
did,
people
but-
who've gone here, but matters of state and such.
Matters of war, more like. I've seen the way that you train now, Titus Metellus.
That's how I've always trained.
She begins to approach the edge of it, kneels down, and gauntlet still off. Takes the water. That's going to feel so God's damn good.
Is there any hot springs in your home?
No.
Yeah. As I start taking
starts
off the cloak.
to-
Yeah,
yeah,
and I'll
she-
help her take off the cloak too. Whatever I can do to help.
Okay.
Very respectfully.
When you started to touch, almost reflectively,
No.
went to bat that hand away.
It's my cloak. As I start to, yeah.
Point.
It's a gift, but it's still House of Owen's gift. Yeah.
Probably the last time I think I'll be in Vorn's colors, unless I wind up going by through some miracle, going back to being allowed back into Fang Prime and marrying one. And she winds off. Don't be scandalized. I'm not wearing anything other than small clothes and a little bit of leather under this.
Same as me. Yeah.
And with no shame, without a care in the world, she finishes. Well, it's more than disrobing, disarmoring.
Yeah. That's why I figured that it was immediately like two warriors helping.
Yeah.
Yeah. They both know the entire rigmarole.
Yeah. And that's a good point. There are not too many people in Juramentum who know how to take on and off articulated plates.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I would just be like, oh, no, no, we're not missing anything, but.
Make a history check.
That is
Wow.
19. Yeah, history +2.
Her armor is old. It's immaculately maintained, but it is old. You're seeing some designs on it and some of the construction, some of the choices of where the plates are set, where the buckles are. And this is, this would never be a style that even your grandsire would have used.
So, who did you inherit your armor from?
Well, supposedly it goes back to the greatest warrior who ever lived. not his personal armor, but one of his companions. The warrior's name, of course, was Jason Tenderheart. Although I haven't heard, his fame seems not to have reached so far north. Do you know about him?
I've heard of him in stories. Him being that can call on the light.
He was supposedly, most of them called him Titus and Victus, or I've been around your grandsire too long now.
I'm sorry, he's a lot.
He is a lot. I love it, but Jason Invictus, but he eschewed that name and named himself, made sure that everyone understood his sobriquet was Tenderheart. And so this killing machine ran around also healing people.
I think he cared to heal more than kill.
Raised someone from the dead, supposedly? I don't know. Those seem like minstrel's tales.
I've seen things that will be tales, and so have you.
I'll admit, I still can't explain what I saw twice.
I can explain what I read about Jason. I don't think we'll ever be able to explain it.
Oh wait, sorry, GM correction. She was not there for the Bazard fight, so she.
No. She was only there. She wasn't to the bring back, but the healing.
Yeah,
of
she
the
only
girl.
saw the
Yep.
first healing. Okay, important point. Although she has heard about it, of course, since then.
I know I told her about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, this is awkward, so I'm just going to make it not awkward. And with that, because she was eyeing it and like, do I really want to get in there with clothes on? No. And she drops her top and then slides in.
Titus goes, follow suit.
Yep. And for the first time, unobstructed, you can see her. You can see the play of muscles underneath her skin.
Scars? Anything very noticeable?
There are some scars.
There's Titus, that's obviously.
You have more. To be fair, you have more. Two in particular. One looks like what should be a deadly blow underneath the left bottom rib, and the other just must have been a monstrous shot. Like somebody took a great sword across her back and tried to flay her open. Those are the two that really stand out.
And then from mine, obviously, that and the chest from Nilishli. I'm sure your scars have stories as well.
They all do. You feel the sweet lassitude of the. Well, first, actually, no, I'm not gonna make you make a con check. You rough it out. Yeah. You get in these very you get in these very hot springs. And probably everybody watching has been in. Yeah, just way too hot.
Yeah, I get in like a complete pussy, but I'm sure
She laughs. She laughs. She kind of. Actually,
There's
there's
one for luxurious things.
there's almost a from her, the closest you've heard to a titter.
Yeah, not one for luxurious things. This is quite. But oh, God, it feels good.
It is a luxury. Just wait until it works its magic on your muscles. It soaks all the way to the bone. I love every part of it. I actually found this quite by accident. I was telling you the truth when I told you I'd never been this far north, but not by much. Although it was winter's back now. And she sinks back. She sinks down a little bit until she's.
Yep. And Titus will put his arms out and be like, I'm surprised about how much truth you've been willing to tell me.
Comes back up, sits a little closer to you, arms out as well, languid, with a. This is going to sound funny, Donnie, even though you don't have the skill of insight, at least for now.
Yeah.
Write down that you have proficiency in Lady Vale, and roll a Lady Vale insight check.
What would it be, just +2?
+2 -1, so you have a net +1.
Okay, so that is 9.
Oh, no,
no
not with
advantage.
advantage. Just,
Okay, yeah,
with
just
10.
9.
Her body language, because this is going to be pretty upfront. She's not trying to hide it. Her body language is something you've never seen before. Maybe in time or under a different circumstance, Nilishli is the only other female that you think you could even imagine doing this. So she's moving without a care in the world in terms of her personal safety or her ability to protect herself. And at the same time, she's moving with the grace and even a hint of softness that a woman has. But there's no fear. There's no fear of attack. There's no fear of anything. Just relaxing right now.
Yeah, Titus is obviously still quite nervous because he's never been in a hot spring. Or, it's just like, when does it get to your bones? Yeah, he's still kind of burning skin.
And
like my skin is matching my hair.
There's silence, probably. There's silence for a long enough time you begin to think that she either forgot your question, has fallen asleep, or is choosing not to answer, and then finally she draws in breath. Do you want to know what it was that convinced me to ask you to come here?
Yes, I do.
The healing hole. Yes, the way that you picked the boy up when we were leaving Pullux without hesitation. Yes, the way that you buried the man in a 40 sesterce cloak who was not one of your retainers. You didn't even know him before then. Hadn't even seen him fight. He was dead before we got there, before you got there, any road. And yes, although I shouldn't admit this, I have pondered the question that you put to me, Titus Metellus, about whether I would see bows or smiles. My answer, for the record, and by the way, if you happen to be a secret follower of the Third Light, it's both. But in the context of all of that, it's the healing hole. In all my travels, I have seen wonders. I've seen slaughter and dealt in as well. I've gone farther, probably, than any proper lady of the old empire ever has. I have never seen a place that plebeians can go to, that those ridiculous, weak creatures Kithki can go to, and receive as much healing and grace and compassion as they need.
They're stronger than you think.
Mayhaps.
And they will always surprise you.
But you don't charge them coin or food. You don't have them trade their freedom for safety. In the old empire in Leptis Regium, it's common practice. Someone on the brink of death or even just not having a time, they take what skills they have and they find a master. They willingly sell themselves into slavery. None of that. I don't even understand how your ridiculous city functions.
You'd have to ask Livia.
That all costs coin or effort or something. How?
You spoke of slaughter and taking life. What is the thing that brings you back is the compassion that makes life worth living. And that's what our currency is at the state of our city. There's death, there's destruction, there's so much horrid in this world. Here at least we can give each other back that slavery to ourselves. And we can at least take care of each other in a way without title, in a way without obedience or discipline, but compassion.
Without titles and obedience, we have chaos.
A little bit of chaos is a lot. But it works. You don't need to have these rules. They know their place. But they are more than willing to do whatever they like within my place.
I've had commoners. I've had Kithki children trying to touch me.
That means they like you.
I've had people trying to steal hair that I've shed. It's ridiculous.
You do have quite interesting hair. They used to take mine, that's why I always keep it sides pretty close. Don't want the Kithki to be able to reach up and get it. They have to stand on each other's shoulders. We both.
Yeah, she laughs. No, she laughs at that.
Yeah.
God damn you, Titus Metellus.
Yeah. I know our city is something that a lot of people damn, but I love it.
That much is apparent.
Kithki a lot like your terriers back in Leptis. But they're so loving.
I hadn't realized the Leptis Terrier had made its way all the way up here to Juramentum.
There's been a few. They point down at my chest and I'm like, saved one. Cost a lot more than I thought. Just that burn mark from Nilishli.
Who did that to you?
Do you know the construct? Maybe you have not met her. She's very tall.
I saw her.
It was her. She was born out of the ground. From a very odd night, months later. From some god.
A potent will worker made her then.
No.
In another part of the known, she would be called a golem.
I wouldn't call her that. They've been using the word construct. We've heard Weisa use this before. She's a vessel of a god.
Construct.
She doesn't understand nearly anything, but also everything at the same time.
Not any god I know.
That's one of the gods of the Kuand. Very interesting. So, basically, she came up, I tried to speak to her, she sprouted out of the ground. Similar matching clothing such as us right now. And the Leptis Terrier began to run up, and I knew that it was going to scare her, so I got in between it. And this shock of power just strength through me and hit me. But she was just scared.
Wait. You ran between that thing of whose capabilities you had no idea and a Leptis Terrier?
It sounds...
That's what you were guarding when you were sorely wounded? A dog?
Yes.
I think you're even more absurd than when I met you.
Yeah. Catryns will tell you I'm the most absurd. Just about all of them. Aside from Medic.
And then what happened? She wasn't executed. She attacked a patrician in his own city. That should have been her head. And whatever she is.
I also did something quite foolish.
One of many.
Yes.
A growing litany. Do I need a scroll?
Rutilius already has one if you'd ever like to read it. If not, Olivia absolutely does. Catryns, I'm sure does, but I'm sure it'll be Mina. The other two might be more favorable in the future. After defending her, after defending that little dog.
Yeah. Splashes some water, gets the damp hair out of her face.
I decided to protect her. Because she didn't know anything, and I went in between her and my grandsire.
Ignorance of the law is no defense, Titus Metellus. You know that.
Ignorance of the unknown is no law. I had to protect her. She was a vessel of a lost soul I helped return. She was a gift, and she just didn't know it yet, and I wasn't willing to throw a gift away. On Spire, there was truly a soul trying to go back home. And I heard her cries, and I knew the field, and where she was born was where that soul went to rest. Here, I have something cool to show you. And he reaches back in his pack and he pulls out that little shovel and he goes, watch this. I'm going to take up and fling whatever and just make it look like it's absolutely nothing, like a full shovelful. And I'm like, this is just masterful thing, this little stave. You can plow a whole field with it one day. It came out of the ground right by that soul that was only looking for a boy.
That crude little thing.
Yeah, try it.
She takes it. If this is actually an empowered item, this will have to be... Oh! It's like digging through air.
You can put it through rock, mineral, water, shield, base. It's amazing.
Can you put it through a body?
I'm not one to try.
No.
But that's an interesting idea.
She flings it up in a sharp parabola. It comes down.
I like things that grow. I don't like to plant bodies as much as I like to see things grow from them. I like that shovel. That field that she came from. My foolishness to protect a dog and to protect a construct of a god that has nothing to do with my people.
At least you understand it was foolishness. I still haven't decided if your city is haunted or blessed.
With my foolishness? I think a bit of both for that.
Bit of both for that, no doubt. No, I mean the abundance of fish, the strange spice called nutmeg, the absolute amazing soil around, the Arpo. Those creatures don't exist south of here, all of it, and more.
That was my grandmother. And I think the blessing is the only thing that ever made Titus Invictus love something, was her. And his love was enough to make this city keep going as much as it has after her passing.
And you, who publicly worship war and privately worship love, you don't go to the services of the Sixth Light, only the Fifth. Why not both? Or why not? Why?
I'm going to tell you something that not a lot of people know. I'm sure you may have heard about my father, Falco.
Yes.
Have you heard of my mother, Portia? Not Lady, but Portia.
I've heard almost nothing of your dame. No. Your father was assassinated, yes? In the keep, no less.
Second of the second.
Huh.
When he was...
The second.
Yeah, Julius, then him, then Livia was first. Born.
Oh, your sister was born before you.
Yeah, she always holds it over my head.
Good thing she's not a man.
Good thing I'm taller than her. She can't hold much of anything over my head. Aside from her being able to read better. And write better, but... The ruby of the light of that love. My mother became distraught after my father, and I started to remove her apothecary's givings of what was to be her comfort. She couldn't keep going without him, though I think she was able to go while he was around. I removed her from that addiction, and it cost her her life. I killed her.
No, you didn't. She killed her. Her choices. You did what was right.
Perhaps. But I don't believe so. But that is that love, that sixth light. It's the one thing that I know about being Vaughn. They all love, but they never like to show it.
So you play a fool, but you have the pain of tragedy. She reaches out and drags her pack over.
I don't like to say I play a fool, but
hand some Arpo jerky over to you.
Thank you. I think I'll call him for tart, kind of like set up a picnic. Charcuterie of the nutmeg.
A nutmeg charcuterie.
Yep.
She says, I think I want to take a nap under the sun. Let this heat soak in. My gods, it is a beautiful day. And with that, she pulls herself out, just bare except for the tiniest bit of small cloth, and then rolls and lets the sun soak into her.
Yeah. I kind of stay in the tub a little bit longer, and then I'll get out and kind of do the same.
Okay. More time passes. You share. She tells you more of her travels. You share with her more of your history.
And what of your family? Your father, your mother?
She just shakes her head. And instead counters with the first time that she sailed to the Isle of Makaria.
And what steel did you bring? And immediately it's just 100% focused on that.
And she actually tells you a little bit about the process of how they make Makarian steel, how the firewalkers there forge it in the fires of volcanoes.
I knew it. It's something to do with that volcanic rock. I was trying to go there when I was a young man. I was captured well after. The city was in a bit of an uproar. But then, and I speak in perfect cavalier, of the wonderful things that I could have seen, and those things that I learned, and those things that I could always feel, and those that brought me here.
You see her straining.
Yeah, foolishness can teach you a lot, and I say that in a common, but for Dara.
My trade tongue isn't so good.
It's the only thing I'm really good at. Well, as far as it goes for languages.
I know someone you would get along quite well with. In Leptis Regium. I wonder if you'll ever meet her. You probably will.
I don't think anyone in Leptis Regium will get along very well with the Vaughn.
You might be surprised. Indra Starstep certainly has her own mind to her, even though she's technically my slave.
Technically?
A legal fiction. I do that so that she's not harassed. She's from the Emirates. It's better that they know that she's mine.
Yes. People can be quite brash in capitals, especially in larger cities.
The only place that I could... Her back is up against a tree now, and she still hasn't put her clothes back on. My Airy, he had to stay with that massive merchant of yours, Philotimus. It's the only place that could house him.
Quite a silly man.
Quite a man. I was thinking about... Well...
Tell me.
His house, his mansion, it's the only proper one here. It actually wouldn't be that out of place in Regium.
Nor would he.
I was actually beginning to negotiate a contract with him. Buy one of his rooms. Can't hurt to have a foothold here.
You're always welcome to have a room in the keep.
She doesn't answer.
Becoming quite crowded. Especially with Jerem and Catryns and Merrick trying to basically watch me when I'm sleeping sometimes. I have to remind him that he has a wife and she wants to have him have another wife. Kids get very different. Not that.
Titus Metellus, why did you agree to come here with me?
I was curious.
No. You were reckless. You see my hair. You know what I am. You know what I could do. Yes, you're a powerful man, but you're still too young. You're not in your fighting prime, and I am in mine. I've had, a decade more of experience than you in the field? Do you know how much chosen flesh hardens during that time? How powerful our sinews become? How we can learn to draw upon our essence? You saw what I did to that Utini giant. You know what that same strike does to a man? Usually goes through them.
Well, hopefully there's not a dog on the other side, or I'd have to be worried.
Why would you come with me?
I think you care more than you let on.
You took a terrible risk by being here.
Most of my life has been all of terrible risks. I love that.
You see her body coil.
Risk is worse than regret.
You see the muscle play under, the powerful muscle that's almost equal to your own. And all the other things she said, in your bones are accurate.
I put my hand on her shoulder and I'm like, it doesn't feel too tough. Even a decade more.
When you touch her, it feels like velvet over marble under your fingertips. If I killed you right now,
I think you'd regret it.
I would be granted anything I wanted in Leptis Regium. And there is something that has nothing to do with coin or station that I desire very, very much, Titus Metellus. That I desire with my heart, which is a dangerous thing.
What is that?
They would never know. Utini could have attacked, or an advanced scouting party.
I don't think you'll risk it.
There'd be no risk. It would be difficult. I would overcome you. At this point in your career, just as your grandsire would still overcome me. It's how it goes. You see her eyes change to a pellucid blue, chill thing, and then with that beautiful, exquisite emerald still dancing underneath, though.
Yeah. I'll lean her real close and be like, but you'd regret it. And a kiss on her cheek and move back.
You see a soft iridescence rise up in her cheeks. You can't win. Not just me, against Regium, and in the fullness of time against the Empire. Your city, yes, it will struggle. And yes, it has an enormous esprit de corps, like iron, even. Like iron. Like what the legions used to be, when the Empire conquered the Emirates and conquered this entire continent. Yes, I'll give you that much. And that's a lot. But even still, you are 4,000. They are 200,000. And counting. You don't have a chance.
I think you said it. And everyone else in the city will say it too. I'm a fool. But that comes with a lot of luck.
And I've been sitting here, waiting. When you ask me for whatever it is you want, because all men want something. No one opens their heart like that for nothing.
A fool does.
Is it mere prurient drive, mere lust that brought you here? Are you that stupid?
Now you're starting to sound like Catrin. I am stupid. But I don't want for anything more than to just be myself.
God damn it! She jumps up and she smacks the tree.
Are you okay?
She looks at you. And she walks. She starts pacing. She's shaking.
Yeah. I'll slowly follow her, but I'm not going to, run up on her.
You see her look to her saddle with her gladius there. Look pointedly back to you.
I don't think you'd be able to make it look like you, Tinny. You couldn't cut out my heart.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, shit. That is a 19 plus 6, 25. Oh, shit. The hot dice.
You ineffable, stupid. She starts to walk toward you. Absolute, perplexing. Another closer. Moron.
I like fool better.
You feel
It's less hurtful.
her chest against yours. She looks up.
Just go for it.
There's a moment where you can feel this tremendous coiled violence inside of her frame. And as she stiffens and then slowly unwinds, or rather brings you into her coil, into that violence, into that passion, into that maelstrom of emotion that you now understand. And remember, you are not an insightful man.
Mm-hmm.
You now understand and can feel her in a way that you've only ever felt Livia. But of course,
Very differently.
very differently. Whereas that is like a beautiful, perfect, synchronized light.
Mm-hmm.
This is a flame.
And
This is a bonfire.
and I pull out into her ear and I go, "You wouldn't cut out my heart, but I'll give it to you." Cold as ice.
Eventually, the two of you wind back up in, or make your way. You you fumble your way
Fade to black.
over. You fumble your way over to the pool, and as you join, and she's pulling herself into you, pulling you into her, biting at you sometime, digging her fingers
I'm
into the
bruised.
back of your neck
Yep.
with strength. And you know, I mean, even now, Donnie,
She can beat the shit out
you're
of me.
risking your
Yeah.
life, because honestly, she
It's
has
like a praying mantis.
she has
situation.
leverage on you, and she could probably snap your neck.
Yeah, praying mantis.
And the two
I know what I'm risking.
the two of you continue this dance long into the night. And with the dawn, it's one of those things that the first kindling of one's great love. Because remember, you're still a teenager. You're still young. You're
The
hardened.
longest 33 years.
You're an adult.
The hardest 16 years.
Yeah, but you've never given your heart to someone before. And you wake up during the dawn. You see her now, and through this whole thing, you guys have not put clothes on.
Goddamn. That chosen skin, we don't get cold, I guess. Jeez Louise.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you're around the steam.
Yeah, that's
you're,
fair.
You're around the steam. You're also both hardened warriors.
Yeah.
There's probably been some some fur hides that you slept in.
The cloaks.
Yeah, the cloaks. She does have a bed. She does have a bedroll.
Yeah. And before, after I know that she was completely asleep, I want to take off the ruby of my light and kind of like put it around her neck without her noticing until she wakes up.
Okay. Now, important point: is your candle joined, or is it two separate pieces?
It's two separate pieces.
Okay, so
that's
the
why I pull up the iron.
So the iron
Yep.
candle, and then the wick is ruby, or is the ruby standalone?
The ruby standalone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the iron candle, and then the ruby's a separate one, but it's small, but it's like one of the more precious gems in Juramentum.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
She actually does not wake up when you do that, when you touch her.
Darn romantic. Are you alright?
I'm not there. I'm here.
What's up? Are you alright?
The sun begins to rise in the east. She turns to you. Yes, it touches her emerald hair, that thick mane. May as well be green silk. May as well be green arbellan silk. I am, actually. I am. And
as that green goes up, I want the sun for her looking into my eyes. The first time that the sun goes through her green hair, that white, kind of bluish eye, you finally kind of see it be clear in the green that it used to be. So now his eyes are kind of both of that green, just a trick of the light, but that'll be good flavor.
And in that moment, Donnie, there's a corona behind her of this emerald dawn and a flame. It's almost like she's wreathed in a gentle, warming flame, which of course can only last a moment because each second the sun moves.
Titus says absolutely nothing. He just stares at her.
For the rest of your days, I'll just say this now as the GM, your character in that moment, will never see another earthly thing that
Radiantly beautiful. It's like sublime. Oh,
never.
I love it. Titus just takes it all in. Just...
You also feel in that moment when the two of you climaxed together that something shifted inside of you. And as you wake up this morning, you feel more. This has only happened one other time. You feel more of that chosen quintessence swirling inside of you. You're now level 3.
Oh, man. Everyone else had to fight, but holy cow. He had to love. Oh, man, that's a good story, man. Gosh darn. Love it.
I could stay here.
You should. You can go back.
Leave that town. Leave that city. Come with me.
I can.
You can.
No.
Yes, you'll be oath broken, but this...
My heart is yours, but I love everyone there. And they love me, and I can't leave them. You can stay. You can choose your own life. I cannot. I do not have that luxury.
I can't. Forgive me. A moment of stupidity. I retract that statement. It was dishonorable for me to ask you to leave. Of course, you have your duty.
I thank you for asking me. I wish I could. But you could stay. We can bring this city into the future. We can make this world more. It can be more like this. It doesn't have to be slaves. It can be compassion. They don't have to avert their eyes. They can just smile upon us. They will love you.
Titus Metellus.
I love you. And then the flicker of his eyes go down to look at her chest to where I put that candle.
She doesn't seem to have noticed.
Okay. I like that.
She does not seem to have noticed, Donnie.
Yeah.
This very perceptive, hard warrior does not seem to have noticed this chilling on her throat. Right now, her hair is partially obscuring it.
Yeah. You can stay.
Don't say that. Don't say you love me. The ones who say they love you hurt you the most. She gets out of the water.
And she goes, I want to grab her wrists.
Okay. Yeah, you stop her.
Yeah, and then just slowly pull her back in and just kind of embrace her and be like, I know, but it's worth it. Pain and grief is just love that's gone. That's what hurting would be, is if we're gone, if we're away from each other.
I barely know you. She pushes away, but still holds on to your ribs with both of her hands. But I admit, even in the midst of the chaos of when we rode by, I don't know if like calls to like, if it was our bloodlines or fate or something else, but I know I had never seen you before, but I thought I had. I'm not a poet. I don't know how to express what that was. I assumed we were going to be enemies.
All of my life I thought it would be that. For me not being born with your shade of hair, knowing that I would be frowned upon by anyone from your city or your blood. But I don't like to think of a fate that wouldn't be this.
You know that I have my duty too.
Your duty is to yourself, and so is mine.
You do not know who my duty is, to whom my duty is, Titus Metellus. Reference my statement. You don't know me. I don't know you. Only this thing that sprung up between us. Different even from last night. Growing in front of my eyes. You're a boy, but you are a fierce leader and a man. A dichotomy I do not understand either, much like your city. I'll admit that.
I'm not as complicated as it sounds. Neither is my city.
I don't believe that. And I don't think you're in a position to know. This is all you've known.
I like not knowing. Makes everything more exciting.
I'll just say this. I've seen what happens when cities are sieged and they resist. And it is nothing that you would want to see happen to those people, to those, yes, fine, stubborn, resourceful people.
What do I do, kneel? Put collars on my friends? Have them avert their eyes from me?
You understand that this is reality, Titus Metellus. And if there is one iron-clad rule of history, it is this. Power rules.
I can't believe that. It's my great lady love. That was not power. That was letting go of power. That is what it is to be powerful. It's to walk away and do what you want and live the life you were meant to. She could have been the Empress, and she left with my crazy, gigantic, stone-cold, ridiculous grandsire. Don't tell anyone I said that. He'll cut my head off.
I need the land, but I want you to come with... She shakes her head.
What?
Grabs you and tries to get out. You have a home. I have to get you back there.
And what of your home?
I have quarters in Airy and Leptis Regium. Beautiful. I sculpt and paint from the balcony there. Indra is my major doma. It's a good life. It's meaningless. Let's go.
You're not meaningless.
She doesn't answer you. She starts putting you first. And this time, Donnie, she puts your armor on first. And so you stand there at tactical advantage, at significant tactical advantage. And then she puts herself even more out there. She turns her back to you as you put her armor on.
Yeah. And as I put it on, I do pull up that just so she can feel it. And just kind of a...
She slaps like it's going to be some kind of twig. Yeah. And then... What?
Yeah, and I'm going to push it back down. I'm like, it's a token of me.
She looks at you and just...
A reminder that you mean more to me than you do to your life in Leptis Regium. And then just finish putting her armor.
You feel her relax a little. And then the ride home is complicated, somber, but there is an undeniable pulse that has begun to beat betwixt these two people, these two chosen warriors. As you get closer, as that day goes on, you can see clouds gathering. You'll be back just in time for probably the eve before awakening.
Yeah. And as opposed to like leading on that while she's walking, I'd be holding on to like her garter and kind of like having her guide me with Erebus as opposed to me looking like I'm guiding Erebus but walking next to her.
Okay. She looks up. The storm's coming.
It always is.
The first a few,
Droplet.
less than a torch later. Yeah, as the walls of Juramentum rise in the east, the first few droplets start hitting.
Yeah. I look up there and I'm like, you could have it all. Just ask.
Don't go past the tree line yet. I'm not ready.
Me neither.
And then the heavens just coming down, pouring.
It's not even averting, just looking up at her on the horse.
A warm spring rain.
Mm-hmm. Just pouring and staring at her, just us being covered in rain, just looking.
Slowly, she reaches out to you, this time catches the back of your head and pulls you to her. You can feel her heat, her fury, which is barely contained. And unless you say not, the two of you are together one last time.
I look at right before it, I'll be like, you could be a fool too. And then kiss.
And that's where we will pause the tale for now.
God damn. The hot dice, man. Thank God.
This is where I will remind both the people watching and also my reckless player that this is a war story. And if you don't think I won't kill you...
All war stories are love stories.
And if you don't think I wouldn't kill your character on the 6th episode just because you have promotional art and a theme song, Clark will draw me another character, and Steve...
I can be someone silly.
And Steve will... And Steve...
We gotta put the boys back to work.
That's right.
Oh, man. But I played it well. Oh, boy.
And Donnie, as a final comment on the session, you have earned your group another fate point.
Was it the Utini heart thing? Please tell me.
I'm not telling you.
Oh, damn it.
I'm not telling you.
That was so good.
So you now have 4 fate points.
Oh, yes.
As we wrap up here, I just remind everyone that means that you are, in whichever way, shape, form, or fashion, one step closer to, on a very long journey, but you have inched closer to whatever that glorious, mysterious fate is in the future.
Oh, I love it so much. Oh, boy. So level 3.
Level 3.
Do we do everything now, or do we do it?
Are you feeling hot?
Might as well.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Roll hit points with advantage.
1d8?
Die 10. Die 10 for beefy boy.
All right.
And you get a +2 for your con.
Constitution is +2.
Okay. Do it.
So that's 7, 9.
Yep. And all right, we got
9.
7. Yep.
I'll take it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And on that note, everyone out there watching us, thank you so much for giving us the greatest gift. That's why Catryn usually does it.
Exactly.
Thank you for giving us the greatest gift that there is to give, which is your time. Take care of yourselves out there. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And stay curious. We'll see you next time. Night.
That you too.